The aftermath, the discovery of the bodies. On inspection, we discovered that the bodies were charred from burns they had suffered as a result of being set on fire. They were lined up and they seemed to have been made to sit or stand on some stones before they were shot. The stones now lay under the bodies, which were riddled with bullet holes. The lower parts of the left foot of one of the victims had been amputated. The amputated part had been left at the scene. The victim's clothes were completely burnt and they lay naked. One of the male bodies, which was later identified as Justice Sarkodie, had severely burnt left hand. The female was found wearing a pair of earrings and a ring on the left ring finger. There was a pair of sandals lying under her feet. The marks made by the burnt brazier could still be seen around what remained of her breast. The band she had used to hold her hair was partially bent. One of the male bodies had a wristwatch still strapped to the decomposed wrist, a ring on the ring finger with the inscriptions SKA, a half-bent belt still around his waist, and a Parker pen on his chest. We found empty shells of ammunition and some pellets at the spot, which were collected. We also found pieces of military uniform, which were thought could have been left there either by some of the soldiers who came there for exercise or by the murderers. We picked them up as part of the evidence. That was what they found. I still clearly remember the dark days of 1st July, 2nd July. All of our parents in Burma camp gathered around television. And in those days, if you said something, your father would slap you because the television started playing the national anthem. And that meant that Flight Lieutenant Rawlings was about to address the nation. And we were in Burma camp, and in Burma camp, many of the army officers, all of our fathers, were supporters of Rawlings, and to some extent supporters of the revolution. This was a military uprising that many of the young army officers liked it. My father was a captain at the time, was a young army officer, together with George Patterson and Richard Addo. They were all in my house that day, in Burma camp. I was there, I was small, I remember them. And they were watching the television together. They were all very sad, very, very, very sad. And usually they will allow me to run around them, but on this occasion, I can never forget. It was raining again. On this occasion, they told me to shut up, and they were brutal about the shut up. So I remember the Ghana television started playing, God bless our homeland, Ghana, and the coat of arms was there. And when the thing ended, if a pin had dropped, about 5 army officers in my house, if a pin had dropped, you could have heard it. My mother was kneeling over the dining table. I remember. She was kneeling over the dining table watching. The officers were sitting down. I was squatting in front of them. And then Flight Lieutenant Rawlings appeared. And his first words, I'll never forget, he said, countrymen and women. I remember that. So I remember it.